This is the inspo. It's a really soft pink, beautiful look from Pinterest. And this is how it looks on textured, acne prone skin. I want to show you here that you can achieve beautiful soft looks on acne, textured prone skin without a problem. So let's get started. I started with a setting spray and some primer on the skin to prep. Make sure you do your skincare first, that's really important. Then you can see I'm using underpainting, so I'm starting with a skin-like shade under my eyes and on all of my hyperpigmentation spots to color correct. As you can see, I have a lot of scarring from acne on my face. Um, yeah, I even have a few painful ones that are on my neck here. Unfortunately, I get really bad hyperpigmentation, so every spot or wound that I get, my body basically keeps the score, and I have a map of all the lesions I've had like in the past 6 months. If you deal with acne like me, you know how frustrating it can be to deal with the aftermath of a spot. It can be really disheartening, especially people just love to run their mouth, like strangers or family. Generally, people who've never experienced adult acne will like point it out when I'm just minding my business, or they'll try to give you really unhelpful advice. Yeah, it's not a fun time. But yeah, don't let that bring you down. Still go out, do what you want to do, socialize with your friends, don't hide. But yeah, once I'm done putting the concealer all over, I put that on my under eye as well. And I carved out my brows too, and then I'm just blending everything together before I go in with a lighter shade of concealer on parts of my under eye and other parts of my face to highlight. Personally, I like using a small brush to blend everything at this point rather than a beauty blender, but use whatever you're comfortable with. So now I'm going in with a concealer 1 to 2 shades lighter than my skin tone to brighten my under eyes. I really like a bright look. You know that UK makeup girl vibe? Yeah. So I'm going to also highlight my nose, my chin, like the center of my face around my nose, and a bit on my forehead as well. Now I'm using a chocolatey brown shade. Oh, not yet. Now I am. To contour the sides of my nose. I like to draw a little C from my brown bone to the inner corner of my eye rather than going all the way down the side of my nose. I just prefer to contour that way. I also put some on the tip, like above the nostrils, and I'll draw a small line across the bridge, I guess the middle of my nose to emphasize the tip, give it like a little button nose effect. Yeah, I'm applying the same shade on the perimeter of my face, to contour around my eyes as well, on cheekbones, as you'll see me doing in a little bit. There you go, on my cheekbones and around my jaw and chin. Now I'm using a dense brush to blend everything out. You really want to spend a lot of time doing this, blending everything like carefully. And then once I've done blending out the contour, I went in with a small brush again to blend out my under eye and, around my nose. And just sticking to kind of like that space under my eye and not moving the concealer too far out across my face. And yeah, blending out the contour too. Again, you just want to be a bit delicate and precise with this. Make sure that you're staying within those lines, I guess. and just keep blending back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm gonna use my Estee Lauder foundation. It's pretty full coverage and matte. I'm just getting a tiny drop out. I really need to buy the little pump. But anyway, so I'm just using a flat brush all over. I'm starting with the areas with no concealer, and then I will blend everything together later. I'm also going to avoid the under eye where I've already highlighted with concealer. So just press everything in. As you can notice, I'm dabbing. I'm not swiping the product across because you don't want to actually lift or shift the product that's already on your face. Then I'm going back in with the dense brush to blend everything together, and it should be looking like this. At this point, even if your base, your foundation is not covering every single hyperpigmentation mark, it's okay because once we go in with the powders and everything else, it should be fully covered. I'm using again another highlighting shade as you saw, and then my powder, I patted the excess off of my arm, and I'm just pressing that into the skin in my under eye, just lightly kind of dabbing that in. Then I went in with a baby pink liquid blush. I'm just pressing that into the skin as well. I like to go right underneath my eye when it comes to my blush placement. I like to do kind of igari Japanese kind of blush style. Really, I think it looks really cute. So yeah, then I'm using the same powder, loose powder on my nose, my forehead, and my smile lines, my jaw. If anyone knows how to fix the smile line problem, let me know, because no matter what I put on there, I always get smile lines by the end of the night, which is really annoying. So yeah, then I'm going in with my powder foundation in the same shade as my skin tone and pressing that in everywhere. So as you can see, once I'm pressing in the foundation, you can barely see, like on my face especially, you can barely see any of the hyperpigmentation showing through. I personally don't really mind if there's a few marks showing through. Now I'm going in with a warm brown shade, eyeshadow actually, for my contour. I'm focusing that on my cheekbones, my chin, outer corners of my eyes, my forehead as well. As you can see, eyeshadow is so versatile that you can use eyeshadow on different parts of your face, and I'm using that as my contour rather than having to buy so many products to contour. If you don't have something, just have a look in your arsenal and see what you already have and just use that. So again, I'm using now a powder blush, pale pink one. I'm going right up under my eye and on my cheekbones and really pressing that in. This is quite a cool tone pink. So yeah, I'm just pressing that in, and I love to put it on my chin and nose as well. I'm bringing that up to the outer corners of my eyes too for this look. Then we'll go in with a purple eyeshadow as blush. Purple really looks beautiful especially on deeper skin tones. It can come up as pink, like quite a bright pink. So I'm putting that on top to brighten up the look. Next, we're using our eyeshadow primer. I'm using a white one here because especially when you're working with lighter colors or pastels, a white or a really light primer is your best bet to really make those colors pop, especially if you have deeper or brown, black skin. So yeah, just pressing that in and blending it out with my finger a little bit. Once that's done, I'm going in with a bright baby pink eyeshadow all over the lid. I'm really focusing on the inner lid first and then swiping the rest of the product across the rest of the eyelid, as you can see. So just going back in, pressing the product in, and then swiping the excess across. Oh, I used my blush again. I'm actually using that on top at the top. Oh my god, I can't English today. I'm using it to blend and diffuse the pink across the brow bone. So I did that on both sides. Or again, more blush on the nose because why not? Now I'm going in with a rose gold color. This is a really pretty color. It's a dupe for the, is it Moonshot or whatever? Space Cowboy? Moon Cowboy? I don't even know. By Urban Decay. So I just focused that on the center of the lid in a vertical line and just keeping really to the center of the lid. And then I put it also on the inner corners to highlight. What's the name of that eyeshadow? I know I'm getting it wrong. Let me look it up. Yeah, it's the Urban Decay Space Cowboy. I already butchered that earlier, but it's okay. Going back to the eyeshadow look, so I used the same pink first as a base on my under eye, and then I'm going in with that purple shade that we used as blush on the outer corners, the outer V, just to really deepen that. And you would place it where you would put your eyeliner, basically, just to kind of give the eye a bit more depth. Going back in with that rose gold color. I'm putting it on the inner corners on the bottom eyelid to highlight, brighten that area. It's a really nice color. I really like that color. Then at this point, I realized I didn't do my brows. So I usually would do my brows before any eyeshadow, but it doesn't really matter for this look. It's not gonna have massive impact. So I just brushed out my brows. I didn't do anything complex with my brows since I have quite full brows. Just brushed them out. Then I use a dark brown pencil to fill in the sparse bits. Once that's done, I will use a eyebrow gel. I usually use a clear one. I don't like to use like a brown one again, otherwise my brows will just look way too full and blocky. So I just use a clear brow gel. You can use the pot ones or you can use the mascara liquid ones. Either way, whatever you like works. I'm just brushing those out to make sure that the pencil is not too blocky, just to kind of blend it in a little bit before going in with my clear brow gel. There it is. She's really on her last leg there. I need to buy another one, but yeah. Once we're done with the brows, I'm setting everything with a mattifying setting spray. And I use the NYX one. And then once that's dry, I go in with the One Size, the waterproof setting powder. This one is a holy grail. It's so great, especially if you have oily skin like me. My makeup, it don't move. My makeup, it don't move. When I put this on all day, it stays in place. I'm just gonna go in with a black eyeliner, and yeah, I'm stopping kind of like in the middle, in the center of my eye. I'm not taking it all the way into the inner corner. So I'm going from the center out and doing like a little wing, just extending it from my top lid. There you go. Then lastly, we're finishing off, well, actually not lastly, we're not done yet, but we're going in with some mascara. I like the Sky High Maybelline one because it just lengthens my lashes. For this look, I didn't use any lashes, fake lashes, but you can pop them on as you want. I just wanted to keep it real simple. Lastly, the lips. I use a brown lip liner. This is just a cheap one from the hair shop, like a chocolatey dark brown. I'm only overlining the center of my top and bottom lip, and everything else is kind of, I'm staying within the line. I also went in with like a black liner just in the center of my lips as well. And I used a cool tone pink liquid lipstick. And that's the completed look. If you deal with acne like me, drop some skincare or makeup tips in the comments. Let's help each other out. Thanks for watching, baby girls.